It's 3 in the morning. The duvet's twisted around your legs, and the only light in the room is the blue-white glow of your phone screen on the ceiling. You open your banking app. Your thumb hovers over the balance a second too long. Then you tap it, and there's that tight, cold squeeze right behind your ribs. That's not just stress, that's anxiety. And right now, in bedrooms all across Britain, this exact scene is playing out on repeat. You are not alone in this. Here's the strange part. We feel this deeply about money more than almost anything else in life, and nobody ever actually teaches us how to handle it. School gave you algebra. School gave you the causes of the First World War. Nobody ever sat you down and explained what a credit score actually is, or how debt really works. That changes today. We're pulling back the curtain on the whole hidden machine of how debt really works, how your credit score is really built, and by the end, you'll have an actual roadmap. I spend way too much time thinking about how debt secretly works and what actually moves your credit score. If you're someone who's lying awake doing money maths in your head, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Let's start with something uncomfortable. Most people are playing a completely different game than the one they think they're playing. They're playing look wealthy, not be wealthy. Buying things they don't need, with money they don't have, to impress people they don't even like all that much. You know the car. It's sat on a driveway 2 doors down, paintwork gleaming under the streetlight. The kind of car that beeps softly when the owner walks toward it, with the keys still in their pocket. It looks like success. But scratch the surface, and it's usually not owned outright at all. It's a monthly subscription with 4 wheels, a personal contract purchase, financed to the hilt. Nearly 9 in 10 new cars in this country are bought this way. The driver doesn't own the car. They're renting the image of success, and the rent never stops. Every single month, a direct debit for a small holiday disappears from their account. It drains their cash flow. It slowly kills their ability to build real wealth. They're broke and dress beautifully while they do it.
Real wealth doesn't shine under a streetlight. Real wealth is quiet. It's the car that's completely paid off, sitting a little tired on the drive. It's the ordinary house with the mortgage nearly cleared. It's a savings account steadily growing in the background, and the peace of mind that comes with owing nobody anything. Here's the distinction that matters. Income buys you a lifestyle. Net worth buys you freedom. And your net worth isn't some mystery. It's basic arithmetic. What you own minus what you owe. Assets minus liabilities. Which means every financial decision you make, from a coffee to a car, falls into one of exactly 2 boxes. You're either buying an asset or you're buying a liability. Now, let's talk about the anchor most people don't realise is dragging them under: consumer debt. There's a dangerous myth going around, especially online, that you can out-invest bad financial habits. People buy crypto on their phone in one tab, while their credit card balance sits in the next, silently charging away. They buy tech shares while paying 20% interest elsewhere. Mathematically, that doesn't work. It's like trying to fill a bucket with a crack running down the side. Pour in as much as you like, it leaks straight back out the bottom. Paying off a card charging you 24% interest is, in effect, a guaranteed 24% return. No stock market on earth beats that reliably. Not without taking on risk that could genuinely ruin you. Here's something worth sitting with. Not all debt is the same shape. Financial professionals split it cleanly into 2 categories: good debt and bad debt. Good debt is the kind that steadily makes you richer as the years pass. It's a tool with a clear job to do, not a trap. A mortgage is the textbook example of a stack of paperwork on a kitchen table that slowly and unglamorously lets you own a home that tends to appreciate over the long run. A student loan can be good debt too. It's not really a debt on a thing, it's a debt on your own mind, buying knowledge and skill that raise your earning power for decades. You're trading a temporary liability today for a permanent asset that lives inside you, your own skill set. Bad debt works in exactly the opposite direction. It doesn't build your future, it slowly dismantles it. It pays for things that lose their value the moment you touch them, and pulls tomorrow's money into today. Think about a credit card sitting warm in your back pocket. Think about a payday loan advert, all soft pastel colours and a friendly rounded font, promising it'll help you out till Friday. Think about the store finance deal offered at the till, the assistant asking if you'd like to spread the cost. None of it looks dangerous. It's designed not to. Underneath the friendly branding Every single one of these is a trap built to look like convenience. Look at how fast buy now, pay later apps have taken over. Roughly 1 in 5 UK adults uses them regularly. People are splitting a clothing order at the checkout into 4 neat payments. They're splitting the weekly food shop. Some people are genuinely financing a Friday night takeaway, an actual curry, on an instalment plan, arriving in a box while 3 future payments sit quietly in the background. Picture the checkout screen. A few small buttons in a row, one already ticked. The total for today looking tiny and harmless. That's the entire psychological trick. Each payment feels like nothing on its own, but 10 small payments spread across 4 or 5 apps add up fast. Before you know it, your next payday's money is already spoken for and spent before it's even landed. Piece by piece, your future paycheck starts belonging to somebody else. If you're carrying debt right now, you need a plan, not a mood. A proven way to actually break the chain, not just a wave of guilt at 3 in the morning. Don't try to fix everything at once. That's the fastest way to freeze completely and avoid the whole subject for another 6 months. Instead, start small and start honestly. Open a plain spreadsheet or grab a notebook and a pen and sit at the kitchen table for 20 minutes. Write down every debt you owe, 1 line at a time. Note the total balance. Note the minimum payment. And this is the one people skip. Write down the actual interest rate off the statement. You have to look the numbers in the eye before you can beat them. Now you choose your weapon. There are 2 main ways to attack debt, and both actually work. The trick is picking the one you'll stick with. The first is the debt avalanche. You line up every debt by interest rate with the highest at the top, and ignore how large or small each balance is. You throw every spare pound at that top debt, the one bleeding you dry the fastest, while paying just the bare minimum on everything else. On paper, in pure maths, this is the most efficient route. It saves you the most money overall and stops the highest interest debt from compounding against you the fastest. The second weapon is the debt snowball, and it works completely differently. Here, you ignore interest rates altogether. You line your debts up by size instead, smallest balance at the top, and throw everything you've got at wiping that one out completely. It gives you something the maths-only method can't. A fast, real, psychological win. There's a genuine lift in crossing a whole debt off a piece of paper stuck to the fridge. Then you take the payment you were making on that cleared debt and roll it onto the next smallest one, snowballing the bigger ones as you go. It works because people aren't spreadsheets. We're emotional, and we need to feel like we're winning. Pick whichever one you'll actually keep doing on a grey Tuesday in February. Action beats perfection every time. While you're fighting through debt, there's a second, quieter number following you the whole time, your credit score. In the UK, 3 main agencies are constantly watching in the background, cataloguing how you behave with money and compiling a kind of digital file on your entire financial life. That file decides how the financial world treats you, whether you know it exists or not. Score low and you get penalised with higher interest rates, rejected applications, or even turned down for a basic phone contract. Score high and the system rewards you with cheaper borrowing, approval in seconds, and more of your own money staying in your own pocket. And yes, the system does feel a little unfair. People who already have money get the lowest rates. The people already struggling get charged the most for the privilege of borrowing. Banks call this risk management. You just have to learn to play the game as it's actually set up. 2 things matter most here. The biggest factor is your payment history. Do you pay on time, every time? 1 missed payment is a red flag that can sit on your file for years. The second factor is your credit utilisation. How much of your available limit you're actually using. If your limit is £10,000, don't let your balance creep near the top. Keep it under about 30% where you can. Maxing out a card signals real panic to the system, even if that's not remotely true. A few quick, unglamorous things nudge that score upward. First, get on the electoral roll at your current address. It sounds entirely unrelated to money, but it proves who you are and grounds you at one stable address, and banks love stability. Second, actually pull up your credit report and read it properly. Mistakes happen constantly. An old address never updated. A debt fully settled months ago, but still showing as outstanding. Either can drag your score down for no reason, and both are worth disputing the moment you spot them. Third, don't close old accounts just because you've stopped using them. A card you've held for 5 years, untouched in a drawer, is proof of a long, stable financial relationship, and the system rewards that longevity. But hold on to this one rule above all else. A credit score is a tool for borrowing. It is not, in any way, a measurement of actual wealth. You can walk around with a flawless credit score and precisely £0 in savings. You can be deeply in debt and still have excellent credit, right up until the day it all collapses. Don't mistake a high number on a credit app for financial freedom. Confusing them is exactly how people end up in trouble while feeling completely fine about it. Real freedom isn't a score. It's actual capital assets producing money for you while you're asleep, doing nothing at all. Once your high-interest debt is finally gone, it's time to build a wall around what's left of your cash fortress, otherwise known as your emergency fund. You'll hear finance influencers online say cash is basically trash, that inflation is eating it alive, that every pound should be working in the market at all times. For beginners especially, that's dangerous advice. Cash in an ordinary savings account isn't there to grow. That's not its job. Its job is to ensure the fund that lets you sleep at night, instead of lying there at 3 a.m. again, staring at that same ceiling. Work out your bare-bones survival number, the actual figure it takes just to keep the lights on. Rent or mortgage, groceries, utility bills, the bus or train fare to work. Add it up, then multiply by 3. That's your first real target. Put that money into a high-yield, easy-access account separate from your everyday spending. Automate the transfer for the day after payday, before the money's had a chance to feel like yours to spend. Once that account is full, leave it alone. It's not a holiday fund. It's not for a new phone. It exists for exactly one purpose: keeping you standing when something genuinely goes wrong. Once you have that cash buffer sitting behind you, something shifts in how you move through the world. You negotiate differently at work because you're no longer negotiating from desperation. Most genuinely bad financial decisions in life aren't made calmly. They're made in a panic. People sell investments the moment the market dips because fear takes over. People take out an awful loan the second the car breaks down on a Tuesday morning because there's no other option left on the table. A cash buffer creates breathing room between what just happened to you and how you react to it. It turns a genuine financial emergency into what it actually should be: a minor, temporary inconvenience. Now, and only now, you get to play offense. No bad debt hanging over you. A cash fortress stands behind you. A credit score is climbing steadily. This is the point where the stock market actually comes into the picture. Don't chase individual stocks. Don't hunt for the next hot tech company someone mentioned in a group chat. Statistically, the vast majority of people who try to pick winners fail to even match the market, let alone beat it. Instead, buy the entire haystack rather than hunting for one needle in it, with low-cost, broad market index funds that track the growth of the global economy as a whole. It is, by design, incredibly boring. There's no dopamine hit, no wild daily swings to check your phone obsessively. But that boring, unremarkable consistency, decade after decade, is exactly how real wealth compounds. The final piece of this picture is your earning engine. There's only so far you can cut your spending a floor to it, a point where there's genuinely nothing left to trim. But there's no ceiling at all on what you can earn. Don't spend your energy hunting down coupons and comparing loyalty prices. Put that energy into raising your own value instead. Pick one high-leverage skill and get properly good at it. Give it one focused hour a day and invest that time back into your main income. A higher salary makes every other step in this whole plan work roughly 10 times faster. So let's pull the whole playbook together, one step at a time. 1. Build an honest, unflinching snapshot of exactly where one's finances stand today. 2. Destroy your high-interest debt first, using either the avalanche or the snowball, whichever you'll actually stick with. 3. Optimize your credit score in the background by paying on time and keeping your utilisation low. 4. Build a 3-month cash fortress you don't touch for anything except a genuine emergency. 5. Route your money automatically every payday into low-cost index funds. 6. Spend real energy raising your own income, not just trimming your spending, because that's the shovel that digs everything else faster. The path to real financial freedom was never some closely guarded secret. It doesn't need a particular background or a lucky break or someone else's inheritance. It needs discipline. It needs consistency, repeated on the boring days as much as the good ones. And it needs the willingness to look a little less impressive today, driving the older car, wearing the same coat another winter, so you can actually be free later, rather than just appearing to be free right now. Turn off the noise scrolling past on your phone. Ignore the highlight reels of other people's borrowed lifestyles, financed to the hilt behind the scenes. Come back to your own numbers, on your own kitchen table, and start building your fortress, one honest brick at a time. Your future self is already waiting on the other side of tonight. Start today. If you're tackling debt right now, tell me in the comments which method you're going with, avalanche or snowball. I read everyone. If this helped you see debt and credit differently, hit like and subscribe so you don't miss the rest of this series. See you in the next video.